Hey guys, Steph here from thegoodride.com. So normally we would be doing this review outside, but it's just insanely windy lately and it hasn't stopped. So we will be doing this review in my van today. We're here looking at this emergency stick from High Desert Training Services. This is an emergency thing you can have on hand for in the car or just in case situation. It comes with a ton of features. It has a lot of cool stuff packed into just this one little container here. It weighs 14.08 ounces, so it's like just under a pound to carry around. It's quite small. It's not that big either, so it's about 16 inches long by about an inch and a half wide here. And so it's pretty compact. Doesn't take a lot of effort to like carry around or just be an extra safety precaution to have with you. So yeah, let's go over all the things it has. It's pretty simple to use. There's not a ton of instructions when you get the box. It comes in like this. And so it has all the features kind of written out on the box with some instructions. It has very specifics back here on the back of the box. Yeah, but it also comes with like these little yellow things will tell you how to kind of use the stick, and it comes with directions kind of along the stick as well. So you get like lights up here, and then the hand warmers in the middle, and then you get the water filtration system on the back and the window breaker back here. So let's check out some of the features. I took this on a backpacking trip with a group of people that I was taking out, so it was a great opportunity to have a emergency stick with me, you know, just in case. Since I was the leader of the group, it was kind of nice just to know that in case something did happen, you know, we had all these features along with all the other safety things that we brought with us. Overall, carrying it on the pack, it did not take up a bunch of room, so it wasn't a ton of extra space needed for it. It also isn't that heavy, so yes, if you're counting ounces, it is an extra pound almost, but I feel like as a backpacker, I could almost justify it as being replacing a power bank, because now you know that I'm always bringing a power bank with me, and so this isn't that far off from like a battery pack. It does kind of make up for the fact that I'm bringing something more if I can replace some of the things that are in my pack already. And definitely the flashlight is a plus. Sometimes you don't want just the headlamp and you want a little bit of further range, and so that's nice too. So you get, you know, some things that you can use every day when you're hiking, and so it just kind of like is that trade-off for bringing something extra that you normally wouldn't bring in your pack to, yeah, no, these are functional. It's not just an emergency situation where I can use the flashlight, you know, or the power bank or the hand warmer. It's kind of nice. Just poked it on the outside of my backpack in one of the outside pockets, and it is waterproof. So the waterproof rating is IP67, and when I looked that up because I didn't know what that meant, I found that it meant up to 1 meter of water. It can be submerged and it can stay there for up to 30 minutes. If you do have it on the outside of your pack and it starts raining, you don't have to like worry that it's going to just short out everything. You know, if you fall into the river or something crazy happens, it will still work, hopefully, if you get out within 30 minutes. So we're gonna just start off with the top and kind of work our way down. So the top is a pretty strong flashlight. It was a lot stronger than I kind of thought it was gonna be. I'll show you the video too of like the range on it, and hopefully I'm able to kind of demonstrate that well. This flashlight can range from 100 to 300 meters. See, I was testing it in a pretty dry environment. It was really dark out. There was no moon. So it was a great time to test the actual distance that it could go. You know, there was no light pollution. It was dry desert, kind of high desert area that I was showing you in. And so it really did reach quite far. And so, yeah, it's just like I showed you before, the light, you push this on, and then you can kind of push and pull depending on if you want it far or near. So that's, you know, 300 meters, and this is 100. I love the SOS feature. So on a full charge, this can keep the light going for up to 18 hours. Yeah, and then we go down to the hand warmer. If you just hold and press the hand warmer button right here, it will turn on and it'll start blinking red. And you can use these features while the other ones are being used as well. So you don't have to pick and choose. You can like, you know, use the flashlight while you're warming your hands and all that. It does get quite warm and it heats up pretty quickly. And so this would be good if, you know, you're freezing or you just need to use your fingers to like tie a knot or get something done, you know, when it's really cold out and you just don't have dexterity left. I like this because I'm one of those people who has that problem, and so if you really need your fingers to function, you can warm it up real quick and then do what you gotta do. And it lasts for quite a while. I was just kind of curious. I had used it on the backpacking trip, and then I had gone home and I was like, okay, we're gonna use this heater just to run out the battery because I wanted to see how long it would last, and it stayed on for longer than I anticipated again, even with not a full charge. Okay, so now we'll go down to this part here. This is the electric kind of spot on the emergency stick. This is the electric ports and stuff like that. So this is how you charge it. You would plug it in with the USB-C here. So I replaced the power cord with a little bit of a longer one. The one it came with was pretty short. But here you can see it blinking to charge. And we're charging it with this solar panel here. It's not very sunny today, but it is working. So when you're charging it, you get like a flashing red light, and then from what I could tell, when it was full, it just stayed red, turned on. It was a little unclear if that meant it was charged, if it meant it stopped charging, and so if they were able to kind of make it obvious that, you know, it was fully charged, it turned green, that would be nice, because then you know for sure it's full. It was a little confusing to know if it had a full charge or was not, because red is usually like I'm running low or I am charging, you know. You just plug in whatever you want to charge, and then you hit power bank and it will start charging. And so the power bank is supposed to work well in low temperatures as well. You know how cold temperatures sometimes just rains a battery out, so this has some sort of protection in it to where you can still get a charge if it's colder temperatures. So the lighter is an arc ignition, so it's like an electrical current that goes between these two little points on there. Kind of looks like a taser. And it's supposed to work up to grade 8 winds, which I wasn't sure what that was, so I looked it up, and what I found was 39 to 46 mile per hour winds. It still can create a arc there to light something, which is nice, especially in emergency situations. And it can ignite up to 500 times on a full charge. I took it out and tested it in some wind, and it definitely worked better in the same amount of wind than a standard lighter. And so this could be nice in, you know, if you have a camp stove you're trying to light, or you're trying to light a fire and your lighter's not working, this could be nice as an alternative. I did try it with my Jetboil stove, and it did light it, but it was kind of weird because I had to like get it in where the fire was going to be because it's so short, and that made me nervous because these electrical ports are right there, so you lit it and the fire would go right up there. I think it'd be cool to have some sort of like flip over cap to just protect that. It just kind of made me nervous. Maybe it's totally fine, but you know, after the fire lit, I was like, I gotta get it out of there because I don't want to ruin the charging ports. And so having it all kind of in the same area makes me a little nervous to damage the electrical ports. But other than that, it works great. It is more efficient than a lighter in windy conditions for sure. It lit my Jetboil no problem. We tested it on, you know, some pine needles or pieces of paper, and the arc stays lit. Like as long as you push it, it stays on, and so you can really make sure that you get a good flame going before it turns off again. So now we'll come down into the water filtration part of this, and so that's in the middle here. These are kind of a one-time use water filter, but you can filter up to 100 liters with it, so that's neat. And it's kind of like the Life Straw type thing, so you suck out here and the water comes up through that filter there. This is the filter, and they will have replacement filters on their website, but I'll show you this just so that you can kind of see how it works here. It's just like any filter. Put it in the water here. So when I used it out there, I just kind of stuck it all the way down in the water like this. What?
You haven't used it yet, right?
No.
Oh.
It's pretty easy to suck through though. So you can also filter it like a gravity filter. Just fill the top with water or have the water going in the top up here, and then it'll drip out. So it's not the fastest way to filter it, but it does work. It'll just drip through, and eventually you'll have a glass of filtered water. So if you're stuck in a car, this is what it would make it good for having in a car. On top of the other features, it says very clearly, do not use on the human body. It's like a percussion, and so if you push down this little thing right here, something pops out. So it has this nice little cap right there, just in case, to make sure that it doesn't, you know, accidentally break a window that's not supposed to be broken, or go into you if you're like holding it or whatever. And so I had to try this. I didn't have a car window to try it on, but I did try it on some glass lids, like pan lids that we found in the garbage or whatever. And it's pretty cool. It happens really fast and it breaks the entire thing. And so with a car window, you know, it'd be really easy just to knock that out after you break it. And it'll break the whole window, and then you can just kind of easily get through it. And so, yeah, it broke apart the entire glass pan lid. And it takes very little pressure. Like, you barely tap it and it happens. So it takes almost no pressure. Yeah, it's a pretty cool feature in there. It just takes up this little bottom half. And so everything kind of just fits in its home here. And that's all together. So that is a look at the emergency stick. So good to take on adventures, hiking adventures, honestly, for, you know, us snowboarders, having it in the car just in case, because you never know what's going to happen on the stormy roads either. You can drop it. It's supposedly shock resistant up to 3 meters, and it costs, full price, it costs $72.99, so $73. At the moment when I'm making this video, it's on sale on their website for $65, I think. But yeah, a ton of really neat features for, honestly, the price isn't that bad for water filter, power bank, hand warmer, you know, pretty strong flashlight, all of the above. So let's take a look at the emergency stick from High Desert Training Services. If you want a full write-up and review of the emergency stick, you can head over to thegoodride.com to check it out.